All right, let's talk about those Twins, shall we? Twins win, beat the Bronx Bombers, and put some authority into it, spanking them 8-1. Chris Archer made it count, putting up arguably his best outing of the season when the team needed him the most. Just 2 hits against the best lineup in baseball, 1 earned run, chews up 5 innings. Even was clocked at 97 miles an hour, throwing some smoke last night. Picks up his first dub of the season. On the other side of the ball, Twins bats were cooking. Jose Miranda with 3 RBIs. Buxton and Jeffers both go yard. Carlos Correa was back in the lineup while Luis Arraez was out with a minor shoulder injury. Reggie, for the first time in weeks, months, maybe all season, it just felt like this Twins team had it all going at the same time. A total complete team game top to bottom. And if this is what they can do when fully healthy, watch out. I mean, if you think things have been fun to this point, we may be only scratching the surface here of their true potential.
Yeah. Like, what was interesting is they packed Nasty Nestor up last night. Got him out the paint. Him and his stash. Back to the dugout you go, bucko. Like, it was kind of crazy how they packed him up last night in that 5th inning. They just, Jeffers, bombs. 0 for 21 slump. How about a snap out of that one? Yeah. 440 feet later. Like, and then Buxton comes up. He was so hype. I thought he was going to miss first base when he was going around the bases.
He was going nuts.
He was going crazy. But you know what? It matters, man. It means something. And it's funny because, Chris Archer had turned in some pretty good pitching performances this season. He also had some bad ones. But it's been crazy that when he has turned in pretty good pitching performances, he doesn't get the decision. Last night, 5 innings, only 70 pitches through those 5 innings. Rocco pulls him, and the team finally gives him that support. I don't think the Yankees have been 8-1 at all this season. Like, that was impressive. We just talked about yesterday on the show about how crazy good that lineup is from the Yankees. One of the best in baseball. Maybe up there with the best in baseball. I think I still put the Dodgers above them. But like to hold that lineup to only 1 run was incredible. And it's just like, look, we talked about it like, okay, they don't beat the teams down that they're supposed to over the last few weeks. But then they go ahead and go to Toronto. They take 2 or 3 from them. And then you're like, man, if we could just get 1 from the Yankees, we'll be fine with that. But it's just like after last night's performance, you're just like, why can't they take 2 out of 3?
Let's go.
Why can't they? And it's just funny because they put the recipe for success out there. And I think what we have found out and what we are finding out is that the Twins have a team full of gamers. They are not afraid of the opponent that they're taking on because they're like, look, they put their pants on just like we put our pants. They lace their cleats up just like they got big bats. We got big bats too. Like we can hang, we can compete. And I think the worry really for the Twins fans was probably like the pitching. They come out yesterday with Cole Sands and he gets roughed up a little bit. And you're just like, well, I don't know. Maybe they could try to see if they can beat them like 10-9. And you're just like, wow, like you had a pretty good pitching performance from top to bottom. And they're able to beat the Yankees, the dreaded Yankees. They beat them. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens tonight.
You mentioned Buxton just getting fired up after that home run. And we know analytics is just taking over baseball and almost all of sports now. But, a lot of old school fans, the elderly statesmen, if you will argue there's something about analytics that you just can't put your finger on when it comes to the human element of the game. This game's full of emotions. And who knows, maybe this was just the little bit of burst that this team needed to put a statement game out there on the Yankees, the New York Yankees, the best team in the league, like that 8-1 last night. Maybe we see a little bit of ripple effect and see this team start to play with a little bit of emotion. And now that we're, 2, 3, almost 3 months into the baseball season, really start to put it all together because that's what they did last night. And that's what fans have been asking for the pitching and the hitting and the coaching, if you will. to put it all together consistently night in and night out. And by the way, just imagine too, when you get a rise back in that lineup with Buxton and Correa for a few weeks, top of that order, just busting out with potential, not to mention getting Joe Ryan back here. Got to be any day now. ESPN's power rankings came out today. Twins dropped one spot out of the top 10 to 11. The article notes no other team in the league, not one other team, has had to deal with more injuries than your Minnesota Twins. 24 different injuries, including 5 starting pitchers: Kenta Maeda, Chris Paddock, Joe Ryan, Sonny Gray, Bailey Ober. Whether it's being shelved for the entire season or hitting the COVID list or just banged up here or there, every team loves to complain about the injuries they've been dealt with, but when it comes to the Twins, no one is more justified. Despite all this, Twins remain atop of the AL Central, where they've resided since April 24th. Quick thoughts on the power rankings themselves and the plethora of injuries the Twins have gone through.
It's a testament to the Twins. Yeah. I think that is something that is really, really cool about what's going on, is they've taken this next man up mentality to the nth degree, and it's also a testament to the grit of this team. They came out to start the season, and you're just like, oh, here we go again. With these darn Twins. This is going to be a long season. And then they put together these winning streaks. They go on these runs, and all of a sudden, you're up there talking about the Twins as being one of the better teams in baseball. And I think that is, shout out to them for that, because coming into the season, you're just like, well, I know the bats are going to be there. They went and got Correa. They brought Sanchez over. Urshela, I'm not sure that people thought that they were going to get what they've gotten out of him so far. And, Luis Arraez, I'm sure they didn't see that coming. Nobody really did, I'm sure. And they are doing their thing. And what's cool about it is they got Correa back from the COVID list. I think Joe Ryan is scheduled to make his rehab start any day now. It might be tonight. And then all of a sudden now you're going to get him back after a long stint on that COVID list. Maybe they're going to start to get healthier a little bit. And then that just kind of rides that momentum into the next one, because what's been tough is it's been a pretty patchwork starting rotation. They have still not figured out everything that they could about the bullpen as well. But they've been finding ways to win these games. It's just like, I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. And you lose Chris Paddock to start the year, and you're just like, dang, like we were counting on him. We're already thin as it is. And it's just like, next man up. Yep, Devin Smeltzer. Yep, throw him out there. Yep, he can get it done. Yep.
Next.
It's just like, who else? They signed Aaron Sanchez. It's not going to be very long before they probably put him out there. Hey, man, let's see what you got.
Hey, we had Nash Walker on just a few days ago. Remember, we asked him, Nash, what's the secret sauce here? What's been the difference from last year to this year? Depth. Plain and simple, it's been the depth. How could you not? You don't have 24 injuries and end up in first place in your division without a lot of depth. So shout out to Nash Walker there. Other quick rankings and notes from the power rankings. Yankees 1, Dodgers 2, Mets 3. Tampa Bay Rays 9, who the Twins will see next, but maybe most noteworthy, the Guardians jump up 4 spots to 14 and leapfrog the White Sox, who dip down to 16.
Ooh.
We've mentioned the Sox yesterday taking a big one from the Dodgers 2 nights ago. They end up losing last night, but we've all just been kind of waiting for them to turn it on, I guess. They're 4-6 in their last 10, while the Guardians are 7-3. They're really starting to turn it around. They're starting to heat up. All this time, fans figured it would be the White Sox that were the biggest threat to the Twins, but what are the chances it's actually, in fact, Cleveland Twins team should be worried about?
I don't know. I really don't know what's going on with the White Sox, but for some reason, I just continue to think that they are going to find a way to turn it around. Tony La Russa is going to get those guys in there, and he's going to figure it out. I mean, he has all kinds of experience with baseball teams. Like, he knows the secret sauce. He knows the winning recipe. So I do feel like the Sox are going to go on some type of a run this summer and make it interesting. But I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen enough of the Guardians to just think that they will. I mean, it is impressive what they are doing, but I just don't know. I don't know. I don't trust them.
When you look at the White Sox lineup, you just sit there and you go, there's just too much talent on this team for them not to eventually start to heat up and go on some sort of run. But again, it's just been 2.5, almost 3 months now. And it's like, if not now, then when? I mean, they're starting to get a little bit more healthy. And again, just seems like so much talent that eventually they'll just start to compete at a higher level that I think a lot of fans were waiting for and predicted at the beginning of this season to ultimately end up winning this division from a lot of MLB experts. Twins currently up 4 games on the Guardians, 5 on the White Sox. Big win last night. Twins need to keep it rolling with a tough schedule still looming. Game 3 tonight versus the Yankees for the series. Another 6:40 p.m. first pitch in the backyard here at Target Field. Garrett Cole squares off against Bailey Ober for the rubber match. Rest assured, Reggie and I will be here tomorrow to break all that down.